Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the West Coast Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Richard Frias Guzman. Recording this on a Friday. I actually meant to get this up a little bit earlier, but recording this actually on a Friday afternoon. It is December 30th, 2022. It is LeBron James' birthday. All kinds of news when it comes down to the Lakers. They're actually scheduled to go and play against the Hawks later on today. And plus, as well, all kinds of news when it comes down to the Dodgers, just kind of finalizing a couple things when it comes down to some of the players that they have signed, and then as well, of course, all kinds of news when it comes down to the Raiders. So everybody knows all about the stuff going on with Derek Carr. Everybody knows all about Jared Stidham. People want to talk about who are the Raiders going to go and get next. All kinds of stuff going on with that. So we'll be talking about the Raiders and the finishing off with the Lakers. I'll kind of give you just a little bit of an update on the Dodgers. It's really just JD Martinez finalizing his contract with the Dodgers. One of the big free agent signings that the Dodgers have this season, or this offseason, along with Noah Syndergaard, along with like some of the players that they have, moved on from or allowed to, or, didn't re-sign and they moved on to other teams. Overall, we have a lot of offseason time to go in and go through. The Dodgers are going to be busy going and trying to figure out who else they can go in and sign, who else they can bring off on to this already stacked team. You definitely see the kind of, direction maybe that they're going with. Definitely the kind of players that they want to keep around. We'll have to go in and see. We're looking at a starting lineup that's pretty damn nasty. You have Noah Syndergaard, you have Clayton Kershaw, you have Dustin May, you have Tony Gonsolin, then you have Julio Urias. It's a pretty stacked starting lineup, if you ask me. We'll talk more about the Dodgers though later on. I did just want to give you guys a quick update on all that. But just to get right into it, I do want to just before I go and get into it here, I do want to just remind everybody that you can find me on Instagram, and then you can find me on Twitter as well. That's going to be the same handle, West Coast Pod 702. So definitely don't hesitate to go and drop me a follow. If you have any questions or just want to talk anything about sports, about any of the teams that I talk about on here, or just sports in general, even if you just want to talk a little bit about anything, just to say hi, just to say you like the podcast, you don't like the podcast, it maybe helps you go to sleep, whatever the case is. But just happy to go and hear from anybody. Happy to go and hear from you guys that listen to the podcast. But just to get right into it here, we'll talk right about the Dodgers, or actually, sorry, the Raiders. I'm so sorry, guys. So to get right into it about the Raiders, all kinds of news when it comes down to it. They got the game coming up against the 49ers, the Battle of the Bay. Even though they're here in Vegas, people like to, for those of you guys who are longtime Raider fans, or who are new, don't really know, or maybe you do know if you have been a longtime Raider fan. Battle of the Bay has always been a big deal. 49ers, Raiders always have a big time rivalry. People really don't like to think about it that way, but they do. If you guys haven't heard, or you guys don't have the history or anything like that, all kinds of great games. Even the preseason, people like to go ahead and make a big deal, a big fuss about it. I am a little bit worried about this one. Not just because of all the stuff that's been going on, but just overall, the 49ers have a really good team this season. They look like they mean business, and they look like they're maybe one of the teams that could potentially compete for a Super Bowl, or could be one of those teams that go deep into the playoffs. But we'll see what happens. All kinds of there's still 2 more games until the playoffs start, so we'll see exactly what happens. But I'm not thinking that this is going to be a big what's the word I'm looking for? A big chance, for the Raiders to go and be able to pull away with the victory or anything like that. Plus, I'm really thinking that there's going to be a big presence of 49er fans in Allegiant Stadium this Sunday. I'm really hoping that that's not the case, but knowing how big 49er fans, or knowing how big that fan base is of the 49ers, I know that there are a lot of 49er fans here in Vegas for that much. And then plus I know that they travel really well, plus that they're have fans all over the country and all over the world for that matter. We'll see what happens when it comes down to the game. I am excited for it, just overall, just to go and see what the guys have. It seems like the guys, from some of the sounds from the locker room that I've heard from like Raider Nation radio, has really shown that the guys are pumped up for Jared Stidham, for not even just for that, but just pumped up overall. It's not more of a doom and gloom kind of a thing, or people are depressed or whatever the case is. And that's a really good thing, because overall, these guys, even though you have Derek Carr out of there and he's not around the team or anything like that, because he doesn't want to become a distraction, even though that kind of sounds like bullcrap, even in my opinion, but whatever. It's my big thing is, if they're all in good spirits, it is a good chance that they can maybe go out there, and they give a fighting chance. Even if they just make a good game out of it, that's all I really care about. But the main things I want to talk about here, guys, is the whole thing with Derek Carr. For those of you guys who have been listening to the podcast, you guys definitely know that I'm a big Derek Carr fan. I have this jersey. I've been following him ever since he became a Raider. I knew all about him, especially because I knew about his brother, David Carr, who played with the Texans, and so on and so forth. Overall, though, with Derek, I like the guy overall, because the guy, he can throw the ball very deep. He's pretty damn accurate when it comes down to it. I know maybe this is not the best season to say that with, or to compare that with, or to use that example with, but overall, the guy is a really good quarterback, in my opinion. Maybe he's not the best quarterback, or he's not an elite quarterback, but I definitely think that he was at least a quarterback that could get us to a Super Bowl, potentially win a Super Bowl. Now, after everything that's been going on and everything, it seems like he might not get that chance, at least not in a Raider jersey or uniform. And I know I'm really thinking that he's actually going to stay true to his word. A lot of people think that he's going to get traded, or that he's going to move to another team. I highly doubt that, in my opinion. I'm really thinking that he's going to either restructure his contract, or he's going to go ahead and walk away. He has all kinds of money. He's made a pretty good living for himself. He has always kind of talked about that he has other aspirations or other things that inspire him outside of football. He wants to become like a pastor or something like that in the church. So definitely, it's one of the things that if he wants to go and do that, you just wish him all the best of luck and whatever he wants to go and do. I'm hoping that it's really not the last time that we see him in a Raider uniform, just because you've seen over the past 9 years that he's been the quarterback, that he's been with the Raiders, that he cares. He's one of those quarterbacks. He's one of those players that cares. He loves the Raiders. He cares for every single one of his teammates. Every single one of the people every single one of his teammates talk about how great of a person he is, how great of a teammate he is, and so on and so forth. And you just hate to go and see that. You hate to go in and see that he's maybe not going to get the chance, but it is what it is. A lot of people are kind of making it seem like the dude's done his, whatever, but I don't know. I think it's a slim chance, but maybe they can restructure it. Maybe they can figure out a way. Hey, we'll give you some time. Stay here. We'll get a rookie quarterback. Then you can go and retire after we feel like after everybody's comfortable, where we can pass the reins on to this rookie, or to this younger guy that we drafted, or whatever the case is. And I really think that might be the case, only because, and I know it seems kind of silly, but I think it's really because of Devontae Adams. Unless if for whatever reason the front office with Dave Ziegler and Champ Kelly have some sort of I don't know, they have something under their sleeves where they know that they can go in and get a good solid veteran in, I don't know, Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. I don't know who they're thinking. I think it's really, really tough for them to go in and come up with like a really good veteran that's available, unless they really have some really good trade or way to obtain somebody. The only other person that I've heard is Lamar Jackson, and that would be absolutely crazy, but I think the price tag and everything that they have to get up to for him is super outrageous. But I don't know, maybe it might be able to happen, maybe not. I really don't know. It's one of those things. People hate to go in here, especially Raider Nation hates to go in here that the NFL, that sports, it's all a business, and it is. It really is. The front office with Dave Ziegler, Champ Kelly, they looked at Derek Carr's contract, and they seriously just saw that if he for whatever reason gets injured in these last 2 games, they're gonna have to owe him that whole thing, and it's over 30 something mil, maybe up to like $40 million, all with like incentives and all this and that. And I'm pretty sure that they'll rather pay that to somebody else. The outrageous number for Lamar Jackson is like $53 million. And I'm pretty sure that they'll rather pay that to Lamar Jackson rather than paying $40 million to Derek Carr. And it really just kind of comes down to that. It's hard to go in and think about it that way. And it's even for myself, being a Derek Carr fan, being a Raider fan. But you have to understand, these guys run this like a business. They have to run it like a business in order for it to be successful in some cases. But all Raider Nation, all fans, everybody can say that they're ruining the team and this and that. But I really don't think that they're gonna have like a rebuilding phase, where we're gonna go through years and years and years of bad quarterbacks. If in order for them to do this, they have to have some sort of plan in play. At least that's my idea. But we'll have to go in and see. There is a whole off season. We still have 2 more games. We still need to see what happens with that. You hear all the guys pretty much backing up Jarrett Stidham, having his back, and they're excited about this game against the 49ers. So we'll have to wait and see what happens on Sunday. It is going to be New Year's Day, tomorrow being New Year's Eve. Just before I get into the Lakers segment of this podcast, I do just want to take a little bit of time to remind everybody to go ahead and take a look at a podcast, at a page, an Instagram page for me. If you guys haven't done so already, definitely do so. If you guys probably already know what I'm talking about, it's going to be Rosie's Designs EST 2022. I'll make sure to post mention her on my Instagram when I post the podcast and everything, so that way you guys have that there. But definitely going to check out the page. She actually has a giveaway going on right now. It is my wife who has the page and who runs this business as well for herself. She makes these customized chip bags for any kind of occasions, parties, birthdays, holidays, baby showers, whatever the case is, baptisms, whatever the case is, any kind of celebration, any kind of occasion, she's going to be able to make a chip bag for you. Any kind of colors, designs, lettering she can come up with. She'll go ahead and send you, what she's doing or the kind of design that she's going to come up with, get your approval. She'll make them, and you'll be very, very excited with the results. If you're curious or you want to go ahead and see, what they look like and give her a try, definitely go ahead and check out her page. Again, it's Rosie's Designs EST 2022. She has a giveaway right now for 24 customized chip bags. Again, definitely go ahead and check it out. One more time, it is Rosie's Designs EST 2022. So definitely going to check it out. So anyways, guys, just before we to go right into the Lakers segment of this podcast, so that way we can kind of wrap it up and wrap it up for this week as well before the new year comes in. So guys, the Lakers are underway tonight. They got the Hawks in Atlanta before they have one more game on Sunday and then come on back home. It is a big game, a winnable game, if you ask me, especially after having a pretty bad game against the Miami Heat, and actually after having a pretty good game against the Orlando Magic. You have a lot of ups and downs this season, especially after the AD injury. You definitely are hoping that the Lakers are able to bounce back somehow, especially being that it's LeBron's birthday. Maybe he has some kind of an incredible performance or something like that. He always kind of shows out, as far as I can remember, on his birthdays or days around his birthday. Maybe that'll be the case. The dude is 38 years old, and he is absolutely doing things that have never been seen before, that have never been done before. I just can't. I don't know what else to say about the guy. I mean, it is exciting. It is one of the big reasons why I went this year to go see a Laker game, because I wanted to have that opportunity to see somebody who is considered one of the better basketball players of all time. I miss my opportunities to go in and see Kobe Bryant. Part of it being my age and finances, whatever the case is. But I definitely wanted to make this opportunity, or to take that opportunity, to see LeBron James play, see Anthony Davis play, go to my first Laker game. Very happy to go in and do so. So if you guys haven't done so, definitely go in and do so, because we don't know how many more years this guy's going to be playing, and plus how many years he's going to be playing at this kind of level of excellence. Now the main things here, there's not much that I really wanted to cover when it comes down to Lakers. You are just hoping that there are some moves or something that can change, because when you go from that game with the Orlando Magic, you kind of think, okay, maybe they have something figured out where they can actually stay as a small ball team, but are still able to compete with these long, teams that have all kinds of guys who are 6'8", 6'9", and above. But then you get that game against the Miami Heat, and you're like, wait a minute, they were just able to beat the Orlando Magic. Why were they having such a tough time with the Heat? And I think it's really just because, one, you have age, you have experience. You want to think about the Miami Heat are a very, very experienced team. They have a lot of guys who were there during that time where the Lakers actually won the championship back in 2020. You have, you even have, a different style of player, if you would. You have like more wing players when it comes down to the Miami Heat. And that's the type of player that's going to go ahead and give a small ball team, especially when the small ball team is not full of wings. When you have a small ball team that is literally filled with guards, and you don't have many players like a Draymond Green, like a Anthony Davis or a Giannis, or somebody who's able to kind of give you a cheat code, who allows you to be small without really being small, if that makes sense. It's they provide a certain level of athleticism, of defense, that doesn't allow their team to really suffer from going a little bit smaller from what your traditional sized NBA team would be, if that makes sense. And I really wouldn't know, other than a trade, on how the Lakers are going to be able to solve this. And a lot of people are going to be speculating that maybe the Lakers are not going to be wanting to make some sort of a trade. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but I do expect something to happen. Just because I don't really think that they're going to expect or want LeBron to get upset and to go and potentially want to leave the Lakers or anything like that. Because in that case, who are you really going to be able to acquire, or who are you really going to be able to persuade to come to the Lakers after, in my opinion, it being a bit of a failure, only getting one championship with LeBron and Anthony Davis? And I know you have injuries and all this and that, and everything that took place, but in my honest opinion, it really just kind of comes down to, you weren't able to surround these guys with the right kind of players. You weren't able to make the right kind of decisions in order to get the right kind of players around or to keep the right kind of players around these guys, in order to build a better team and something that's sustainable, for multiple years. Because I really do think that that's one of the bigger things that a lot of the better teams in the league have: sustainability, cohesion. They have a lot of the same players that they've had for a few years now. You look at Boston, you look over at Milwaukee, maybe not so much right now, but the Suns, the Warriors. You have a couple of these teams that have been with each other for quite some time now. Even Cleveland, with the addition of Donovan Mitchell, but you still have a team that's been together for pretty much a long time now, or at least a couple years now. So they have been able to build some kind of cohesion, and they're just building more off of that. That's overall what you expect, I think, in my opinion, from the Lakers. But we'll have to see. It is going to be until February, I think, until the deadline is up for the trade deadline. So we'll have to see what kind of moves or what they could potentially do. Until then, though, we'll have to go and just live. We'll have to see what the team's able to do with what they got. You have Juan Toscano-Anderson, JTA, who ended coming back. So maybe that's somebody who's able to provide a little bit more of what we're looking for. Some size, some rebounding, some defense. But we'll have to see. Maybe we'll get some good news with AD getting reevaluated here pretty soon. I believe that's going to be coming up here once the new year starts. But that's pretty much I'm going to be doing it. We'll see. We'll maybe talk about it tomorrow after this game against the Hawks. Maybe do a little post game thing or something like that. But until then, guys, I am going to be and maybe we'll talk tomorrow. But I hope you guys have a good time. Hope you guys have a good New Year's. If not, if I don't talk to you tomorrow, it definitely will be until Monday the 2nd that I'll talk to you guys. And I hope everybody just has a nice, safe New Year's. If you're celebrating, you're drinking, driving, or drinking, and make sure you're not driving or anything like that. Make sure you guys are being safe and responsible out there. Really hates going to hear about any kind of news of people getting hurt or even worse out there, but definitely hope you guys have fun. Be with your loved ones. Love and kiss your loved ones at midnight, and have a good time overall. Hope everybody has a safe and happy New Year there. But I'll talk to you guys on Monday the 2nd. We'll kind of just do a whole little recap of everything of the whole weekend all together, and go on from there. Until next time, guys. Take care. Peace.